the end.
Something's happening.
Something's happening. We're going to pick some bands, and 3 games have already happened. 2-1 here.
Rock-a band.
Oh, the banana man in the front row is upset.
Yeah, he's not.
Is he back?
No,
Yeah,
he's over
Oh,
there.
yeah, there he is. I see him.
He's over there. He's peeled and
New
ready.
banana man.
He's going to have to be put away for this game, but we are going to see a final ban from CLG Gaming. The Tristana has been dropped, and it has. They will not be doing that. Nidalee, however, is the first one, and Lourlo is going to get the Ekko this time.
They listen to us. Well, actually, no. They're just changing.
Yeah, they're doing what they want to do.
But this means that the Kindred, which has been controlled the entire series by Team Liquid, could fall over to CLG, and it does.
So the Kindred over to Xmithie, something that they were avoiding, and I
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. This is a new development. Darshan is on an actual tank.
So I was going to say it last game,
Hold the phone.
that there could have been a Maokai if it needs to come to it, but whenever we see Darshan go back to tanks, it seems that the team doesn't find that synergy to get the last push, find maybe a turret that'll help them break the game open. It seems like having him on something that can really impact the game, and he may still on Maokai, it's just a little more conditional here.
I want to see what CLG have in mind here, whether it's a double AD composition or what else they have, because they dropped the Corki ban for the Gragas ban. Just because they thought that Ekko was going to get picked up. They wanted Kindred, so they didn't want the Gragas hard counter. But also, Maokai into Ekko is not a good matchup for Maokai. Ekko really destroys that matchup, but he has better gank assistance.
Yeah, also a little crazy to see Dardoch go quickly over to the Rek'Sai when his Lee was so effective against Kindred's, but he will have some good jungle vision if he's going for the counter jungling, which is something he's going to want to have against Kindred for sure. These are at least different, which is the good thing you want.
Aphromoo looks so proper.
Now CLG looks really happy about this draft.
Yeah. It's calm.
Maybe it's a support Maokai.
Well,
No, it's not.
Oh, there it is!
The permaban Trist.
Okay,
So
so
he laughed every time it was banned, and he laughs when he gets it. So I'm expecting to see something from Stixxay here.
well, you were saying that they listened to us. Yes, they listened to us. They picked the first picked the Ekko. They dropped the Tristana ban. We're gonna figure out if we were right.
Yeah, I know. We're just gonna dumpster.
We could be dead wrong.
Caster curse. Looking at what's going on the side of TL, the Braum does get locked in, so there's protection there for Stixxay. Is this a composition that can protect Piglet? So far, yes. He can shield, he can heal, he's got Tempered Fate safety.
Oh,
We'll see what happens.
It's the
That
curveball.
Ekko can also be a carry partner.
it's the curveball. So it's Karma mid, or it could be tank Karma top. That is something that does exist in solo queue, but I assume it's going to be the Ekko top up against the Maokai for that lane. But we know it's going to be a Karma or Ekko mid now for FeniX, so that's different. And now we're going to see Matt, who Smurf, of course, is was a Bard Romance.
Matt Life was also one of his names.
Yeah.
Just he was a Bard main through and through. So this is what we always thought was his best champion, and a lot of us during the midseason when they were struggling with putting him on Alistair were saying, why don't they just play Bard literally every game? Because some of his Bard games, he just solo carries.
His ults make plays, very, very much so. It's not, they never use it much in safety, but in aggression is where you see those coming from Matt and his Bard. Last pick is going to be Ryze for Huhi.
Yeah, this is, again, a team fighting composition from CLG. They'll have the Trist for those quick turret takes, but beyond that, just a strong tank line, even a pretty tanky damage force when you throw Ryze in there. Yeah. And it looks like Team Liquid's just going to be trying to match him with team fights now, a mid lane Karma, as you mentioned, Zirene.
So it's double AD carry with a Braum for CLG. I love the consistent damage of CLG way more than TL's at this point. They're going to be having to play around Piglet, hope that Lourlo really crushes that lane and has a split push advantage, and then they can play around the Karma and maybe poke / siege, because up against the Kindred, the Tristana, you are dealing with a lot of consistent damage in a team fight alongside that Ryze from CLG.
It's going to be tough. Last game possibly for Team Liquid.
Loco needed those few extra words for his team.
Always taking an extra second. You know, his last words, you hear the mic checks, are always good luck, that last step off stage, and that's, they're going to use their power and all their veteranness. Don't forget your pink wards, please. Who's going to come out on top in this series? Tweet hashtag TL winner, hashtag CLG win with your best guess of who is going to be taking this one. The best of 5 series has already been quite an awesome one. TL grabbing the first game so confidently with such force, and then CLG has been able to find their way into the playbook at TL here and not give them an inch. We'll see if Team Liquid keeps themselves in this playoff matchup and a possibility for that finals in Game 4. Here we are, CLG on the red side, Team Liquid on the blue, and we are on the Rift.
And of course, CLG on match point here. They could put themselves in the finals with a victory here. Very early on in the last set, we saw TL, they ended up just fanning out instead of getting those deeper wards, and Matt paid for it later. So any big mistake here, any big misstep for TL, considering the last game, it could put them over the edge and make it so that CLG wins this series.
And CLG has had some really nice wrinkles to the level 1 in both Games 1 and Game 3. So you would wonder if Team Liquid would have put some level 1 planning in these between game matchups. It's really tricky to do a lot of times. You got to adapt to so many things in those short 10 minutes you have in between the game. That
exactly.
Unless you've pre-planned all of these level 1 plays, you're just going to be like, all right, let's just go defensive, make sure nothing bad happens. And that kind of seems like what Team Liquid has done this game. Very defensive fanning. I don't even think they're going to be going in for a late ward unless they have absolute certainty that it's not a trap.
Yeah, and the fact that you have to spend those 10 minutes talking about that level 1 or how you're going to play that out means you're not talking about the other problems with the game. You're not having that time to discuss, okay, what champions are we really going to prioritize here? What do we really want to pick?
Yeah.
It looks like TL, they did get a little bit of what they wanted, but CLG again with the good picks here. And how's that mid game going to play out too?
I mean, we definitely know that Team Liquid did a lot of different champion picks because I believe these are, as far as player on champion, 4 different things, and they wait for CLG to try and check, but what this is going to do is just neutralize the level 1 entirely. No one gets a cheap camp at the start, and the junglers are actually mirrored, and again, we get standard lanes.
It brings the lane, like you said, back together. This also helped out Xmithie and Darshan. Last time around, we heard Kiwi Kids saying that there is noticeably a better synergy between those two, and Darshan, especially even to start shutting down Lourlo, is going to be awesome for this game.
But I do like this matchup, the Ekko into the Maokai. Ekko has a very distinct advantage here. If Lourlo plays it properly, he can actually create his own advantage without the help of Dardoch. But Dardoch, what? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, these are way better standard lanes for Team Liquid. You can argue it's a skill matchup between Lucian Bard versus Trist Braum. That's going to go either way. But the Ekko Maokai is something that should absolutely go to the Ekko. So if this is a moment where Darshan is really going to prove that he is a superior player to Lourlo, winning a 1v1 in a bad matchup would be the kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Oh, man. Level 2 power spike for TL over CLG. Got it just a little bit earlier there, especially since you have a Bard. I wonder how many chimes he picked up as well for the experience.
Already CLG on the back foot. I mean, this is exactly what Piglet and Matt want to get into. Azazel or Azazel on the Azazel?
Azazel?
Calling him on the desk. Just mentioned that this is what Team Liquid wants. They need Piglet to be in an isolated matchup so him and Matt can just show their superiority in a 2v2. They have the champions where they are capable of doing that because they're not in one of those Caitlyn versus Sivir matchups.
And it's so strange, though, because these are gold leaders at 10, number 1 and 2 in standard lanes. Piglet leads the league in AD carries and 2-on-2s at gold at 10, and Stixxay's right behind him at number 2. It's very, very close there in terms of standard lane matchups.
Just floating under the radar until they are necessary for the mid-game quadra kills that these 2 AD carries like to pick up. Or get stolen from Darshan if it were on the side of CLG. Still kept up about the 75% mark, so Stixxay, well, being Tristana, doesn't actually have to deal with the pushed up lane here because Piglet just keep putting it right back towards the turret.
Oh, Aphromoo jumped forward because Xmithie's on his way.
The binding hitting it perfectly there. Matt's going to go ahead and pick up some delicious hot cocoa.
Can't delay on that gank.
This little bait here saying, we may know you're there. We'll waste your time.
Yeah, if they were able to get that stun.
If he doesn't recall quickly enough, he's going to be trapped here.
Praise Seeker.
Yeah, he's trapped.
Oh, we got him.
There's a flash in, 2 flashes going for Xmithie on this one. He's looking for help from the team. The TP is coming in from FeniX in the mid lane, but it looks like he's able to cancel that one off.
Yeah, didn't need it, or Huhi walked up and rooted him. Didn't see which it was, but still canceled out. And Dardoch, yeah, with the answer there. The Prey Seeker right before he used the tunnel.
Yes.
A lot of Rek'Sais would actually just go straight tunnel and then unburrow, but then he wouldn't have had the flash knock-up chase.
Also, great credit to Piglet and Matt there for not playing a super scared situation and making it still look tempting.
Yeah.
Double buffs onto Piglet is going to be massive for this matchup. Not to mention Dardoch. Rek'Sai can be a tremendous counter jungler once he gets ahead just because of the vision he gets. And this is a very bad spot for Xmithie to recall, especially when he's in. And now Dardoch is looking to press that advantage again. No,
Lourlo, rather FeniX still tanking on this one.
Dardoch doesn't have tunnel for a little bit longer here. Had to use it to get over the wall.
Possibility for a turnaround. I was wondering if they would go mid. Having Huhi's teleport down since FeniX blew his would be fantastic to get. Oh?
Yeah, Matt's just going to delay the recall even further. Don't think much more will happen. Nice stun. I want to just touch on the top lane gank one more time, though. Xmithie made a couple of errors on that gank. He moved up, and then since they weren't in position to gank, he kind of knows he's sitting on a ward, or at least you can have a pretty educated guess that they did see you. And because they did see you, unless his duo lane has a pressure advantage, he can't recall in that brush because it is way too dangerous. So he just didn't make the right judgment call based on the information available. Yeah. It wasn't even just a bad guess.
It's kind of like, I'm not respecting it. Can I pull this off type of situation?
You can see actually a stylistic difference here. Xmithie, no fervor. He goes for the strength of ages.
Yep.
He just wants to stay alive long enough to get down his Lamb's Respite. And in the bottom lane, we actually saw Stixxay went down there, tagged out Darshan. Darshan went to the top lane, and Piglet actually started walking towards top, and he had to change his route and get down here as fast as possible. Use those double buffs. Use that timer on him.
They need to keep doing this lane setup, and we're now sitting on a BF sword versus a cull. That is, this is when you don't actually want to buy the cull.
Yes.
Buy the cull in a lane swap when you're going to get to your 100 CS fairly quickly, or you want that little bit of extra sustain in lane because you're taking poke.
Oh,
but
going through.
Bard Lucian are going to burst you down. That cull is, I don't think, going to help very much.
Pressure and knowledge of Dardoch in the top lane. We were talking about the bottom here. Before we went to commercial, we were talking about if Piglet could get going this game. Seems to be on the rise.
Yeah, Dardoch on this Rek'Sai is one of his best champions alongside his Lee Sin. He got a pentakill in Challenger with it in the qualifying matches. This guy, he's not going damage this time, but still, he knows how to have pressure.
Pentakill too. And quite a scattered fight.
When I talk to junglers about Dardoch, it's usually that he has this weird sixth sense where he kind of knows where he should be on the map or where the enemy jungler is going to be. And when he plays Rek'Sai, it just becomes so much easier.
Yeah, you no longer need a sixth sense, you just look at it.
Yeah, you actually have a sixth sense.
It's that moment
built into the chip.
Trevor sense. Seventh sense?
It's that moment when it almost feels wrong doing anything else. And once you take that path, everything becomes second nature. You see that when these guys play on their comfort champions. Rek'Sai being that for Dardoch this game so far. His 1 assist has been seen in previous games. Number 1, it was nice. 2 and 3, he wasn't really able to use it too much because CLG was just too strong in the map control that early. 8 minutes in, it's in favor of TL again, so we'll see what they can do.
Exactly. TL, now look at that gold advantage that they have already. 1.8k, 8 minutes in. That kill is a very small amount of it. Dardoch is farming out of his mind very quickly. Didn't even go for his jungle item first. He went for the Bomby Cinder so that he can increase his clear speed a little bit. But also, Lourlo is winning top lane and has a CS advantage there. And look at this, Huhi has no flash.
Yep,
he gets rooted.
To him.
Good gank.
Root on the tether. This is going to be a double TP coming in from the top side. Xmithie low on mana, but can still offer those AD shots. FeniX very low. Touchdown. Coming in from Darshan, very nice, and it looks like he will get that Maokai going. Is he rooted strong enough? He is, stays alive. Now they're on to Dardoch. Dardoch goes down. Is it the turnaround for CLG? Oh! The Tempered Fate locks up what could be a few. Aphromoo there for the guard, and he is going to be able to put up a little bit of defense, but is it enough? The Tempered Fate, no, rather the Journey goes through the Raptor Pit, but they're going to be out of that one as the Tempered Fate was already used. Woo! A little hectic.
I'm still processing all of that right
Tight one. So essentially, I like the gank from Dardoch, but the counter from CLG was stronger. I think at this point in the game, the Maokai teleporting in can have a higher impact than the Ekko teleporting in because he has on-demand instant CC when he arrives. And then they got FeniX down before Huhi could go down. We're going to get to see that in the replay very shortly. I think that's mainly what turned it for CLG, is even though the TPs were matched, Maokai has a larger impact when he comes into it.
So Rek'Sai comes out of the wings here. I don't think he has flash up just yet, so can't flash and exploit him there. So he has to wait for the root to go off. That gives enough time for Xmithie to show up here and start contributing damage where they run away.
Here is where they're past the minion line, so Huhi gets a full rotation of spells onto FeniX. Darshan then gets the kill with the sapling, actually.
And FeniX walked back a little bit, too.
Yeah, and the stun from Lourlo doesn't do that much. He gets the damage from the ultimate, but then more people eventually will arrive to the fight. Here's where Huhi gets his spell rotation back up again and really catches Dardoch by surprise, I think.
Yeah, Lourlo was trying to body block some of the Qs there from Huhi. And then the follow-up here, Piglet, remember, he already has the BF sword.
Yeah, dash flash. Unfortunately, Matt ends up picking up that kill with either an auto or an ignite. We really loved that kill to go over to Piglet.
Not able to pick up any more off of that, but yes,
great,
2 for 1.
Great early magical journey from Matt as well. Preemptively heading the way of Xmithie to finalize those kills. So it looks like TL is kind of pulling the trigger a little bit harder this game. They are not hesitating whatsoever. And Dardoch, it seems like he is trying to not let himself far behind.
Yeah, he also went for the Stalker's Blade, so he's going to look for a lot of ganks. Usually you're looking for the duels when you get the red smite, but this is just so you can have people close that distance and get those knockups, which I think is definitely right in this composition, because you're playing around Piglet and Lourlo, honestly.
Yeah, I think one thing, though, with the Cinderhulk Rek'Sai, he's going to have to run away real quick. It's that catch potential.
He looks good in gold. I don't know if he's going to be able to run away real quick on this one. And Aphromoo gets caught out here. TL's been putting the pressure onto mid lane, not getting much out of it, but their feelers on the left and right side have been a lot more advantageous, and they're able to pull off a kill.
And this is the type of pressure Team Liquid needs to do, because I think with their builds, they have to snowball this game fairly early. Their late game damage won't be great because of a tank Rek'Sai, a tank Ekko, who also does a bunch of damage, so that might be their saving grace. But Karma's not the greatest late game mage damage-wise, and it'll basically just be Lucian, who's a really consistent damage dealer. Whereas you look at CLG, they'll have a best-in-class frontline with Braum and Maokai, and then still have consistent DPS from 2 to 3 rolls.
Oh yeah, and then they also have Kindred, kind of a pseudo-tank with the ultimate to soak a lot of that damage that Piglet might be giving out near the end of the fight. And they've been punishing Aphromoo. Matt's 2 levels up over Aphromoo. He didn't have his ultimate for the last 2 fights, whereas Matt did. He was able to throw Tempered Fate 2 times so far. And the stun? What?
He is. Exactly what is going to stun.
Wait. Now the heal, the double heal. Piglets came in through as well. Along with the relic he was able to pick up. Very nicely done. Hot Cocoa saves lives.
You play enough Bard games, as Matt or Aphromoo will tell you, you learn exactly what that stun will latch to, because it's not exactly a straight line beyond the champion.
Right.
It's going to take a quick little left turn sometimes.
It cheats.
And get you that stun, but that was perfect from Matt and Piglet to get that kill. Then he had the heal up on the backside, doesn't even have to burn a summoner spell, and they get yet another kill.
It was also 3 levels up, too, now over Aphromoo. Like, Matt has just been roaming around, getting so much experience. Walks forward.
He's a level behind Huhi. That one was pretty much a straight line into the wall based on where Huhi was standing. Just because Huhi moved after to pass through him.
And good heal there from Piglet.
Yes.
No follow-up there. Xmithie was just trying to salvage the situation. But man,
what the? Stixxay's going Rageblade Trist. So this is probably why it was banned. There's something about this that they'll like.
So we also was it a Rageblade Ash?
There was a Rageblade Ash.
LCK. So looking at this as well, there's been so much fighting in this game. Another match where we get quite bloody, and his call is about 50 right now. He's been on that for so long because these AD carries aren't getting the CS they should 13 minutes into the game. So I mean, look at 127 for Lourlo here. They should be around that point, but he's just been getting solo farmed. So that call is taking even longer.
So I guess with the Rageblade Tristana, you have incredibly long auto attack wave clear, and you stack it up very quickly with your rapid fire. But look at this, Lourlo. He's been bullied by Darshan all series long. He's gonna turn the tables.
Oh, flashes in, twisted advance could come up, but he's still got the chrono break. It won't matter in the end. On the bot lane too, it is Team Liquid on the hunt for him. Dardoch with a big oopsie, but he's going down for the sake of his team. Is it gonna And he gets it down. The inner flame into the auto attack with that monster attack on the end is what solidifies the kill.
Across the map, it becomes a 3-for-1, and Team Liquid is pedal to the metal this game. All the time, they are just going full on aggression, and they're looking to snowball this one quickly and then carry some momentum into Game 5. So far, so good.
And this is the time to do it, too. The build that Stixxay went for, this Tristana that's been banned out over and over again, this is the worst part of the build you could possibly have. You have Cull, you're waiting for that to actually go off, and you have the pieces of a Rageblade. Finally, it's completed, but I guess AP Tristana's still alive in some ways.
So I just did a little bit quick. We'll go into the research after this.
Let's watch this quick.
Yeah, this was Dardoch once again.
Xmithie doesn't have mana anymore for Lamb's Respite to actually save himself. He still has it up, but Dardoch
this is one thing they can gain with Bard. They get to just turn off the turret and then go for the dive. Perfect, it shuts off the turret, but not the...
It goes on Dardoch first, too.
But getting it to go on to Dardoch was a little bit unfortunate. FeniX could have tanked that, but he does catch Huhi with the edge of his mantra Q and then can go in for the finish.
But very dedicated to that call. They did not leave when they saw that, okay, well, Dardoch's the one who has aggro. Nope, flash in, gets his team kills. And Dardoch was the guy that we're talking about. He's always taking the kills, right? Well, he's on the assist train right now with Rek'Sai.
Yeah, CLG's trying to get one back.
Oh, what, Piglet!
Piglet, not in a good spot. Tempered Fade.
On the shield!
Not going to come out. He actually doesn't throw it. Hold it for now. Piglet is dead. Darshan, or rather, Dardoch tries to go over the wall as Lourlo is holding down mid. CLG is going to get their first push on the turret here. This is basically what we saw CLG doing to Liquid last game. The outer line of turrets fully up as they were taking them apart. Here, Liquid's about to lose.
They're still down 5,000 gold, so even in a 4v5...
That gets absolutely deleted, but huge damage from the Mantra Inner Flame coming in from FeniX. They're able to clean up a triple kill now on CLG. It's Lourlo versus Huhi. Here comes another Inner Flame. Huhi's gonna go down. The quadra kill for FeniX.
The Soul Flare from FeniX on top of the stun. Bard, Matt played that perfectly, and the follow-up from the rest of TL, we were talking about they don't have too much damage. Well, when you're this far ahead...
Yep, it's all about the snowball game right there. It was 5,000 gold up, and Team Liquid willingly takes a 4v5 outside of their turret. They just womboed CLG right there. The Bard ultimate set up the Ekko stun. That is some insane synergy between those two champions if you can land the first one, which was the Bard ultimate, and CLG never had a chance.
It's really hard to find a team in a moment of confidence like that. CLG thought they were pushing effortlessly, or they had the fight. I said that completely wrong, but let's lead again.
Yeah, this was the very beginning of the play where CLG forced a double TP, and they had the better wards for the TP. They could come in together, whereas Team Liquid had to come in from the side, which let them take down Piglet. But then they stick around for a little bit too long because they burned most of their critical cooldowns. Well, actually, they thought they did. They still had the Trist and the Kindred ultimate here, and this Bard ultimate and Tunnel from Matt is fight-changing.
Oh, he's even got Xmithie still. The knock-up into the stun, into the Soul Flare.
Yep. So 2-man Bard ultimate into what was a 3 to 4-man parallel convergence and Rek'Sai knock-up. And then Lourlo knows he still has ultimate.
There's the Soul Flare. So it was may have just been a regular inner fire there.
Might have been.
Unless, you know what, you actually get cooldown off your mantra for hitting a spell, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just hit everybody.
And in team fights, you get a faster cooldown on your ultimate for hitting spells and auto attacks on champions as opposed to just on minions. So you can, when you're good at Karma in these team fights with a little bit of CDR, you really get to cycle.
So powerful too. Everything you do can basically help the team, enable the team, speed them up, slow them down, release the opponents. And Team Liquid is on a rampage right now. It does not look like they're going to be stopping. 7,000 gold in the lead. Actually, 8,000 as it just picks up. Yep. They're going for second tier top side.
They're just going to continue to muscle these down. You can't actually have a zone of threat anywhere near these turrets because Matt has shown he's not afraid to throw out that ultimate. And with Lourlo next to him, you know you're going to get the follow-up stun afterwards.
Unless something drastic happens, we'd be going to a game 5. We're just 18 minutes in, and Team Liquid is pushing an inhibitor turret with CLG right there. They're doing it in their face, and they're getting it to work.
Definitely the fastest.
Well, Huhi's not there.
He games with pressure. Looks like Huhi's going to start backing, and the team will change lanes here. They're going to get everything pushed, everything warded up. They have great breadcrumb wards on the way out. Don't need to place any there. Team Liquid is really moving up their advantage. 40 seconds on to Dragon. They've been split this game. Actually, 1-1, sorry. I'm living in the past. So we'll see Rift Herald and then Dragon.
Yeah, you can see the Baron timer on there because Baron will spawn in the minute, but Rift Herald will still be up.
It's one of those moments where you go, oh yeah, it's still pre-20 minutes.
Yeah. They're going for... Oh, okay.
It's the Baron pit, but it still has Rift Herald in it.
So it's seeming...
Ooh. They gave it to Lourlo.
The Rift Herald to Lourlo?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Ekko's pretty strong right now.
But you were saying...
Yeah, we're 8,000 gold up, looking pretty strongly like we're going to be heading towards a game 5. The Trist, I feel like that's a swing and a miss so far from CLG, but let's just pretend this game isn't super one-sided. What could the Gunsu's Rageblade Trist do? I'm thinking about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Tristana executes on small windows of power. You use your rapid fire, you get your auto attacks in, and that's it. You blow up your bomb, and it's hopefully done with. Trist would have an overall total AP ratio of 2.0 with the Rageblade, based on the W, the E, and the ult, which is pretty high as far as those go. So I think the idea would be you press your Q, you get your bomb on him, you proc your Rage Blade very quickly, you then jump in for an execute, and somehow that's better than normal AD carry items. I do not agree based on my initial assumption.
Yeah.
I can see where the logic starts.
I think it has to do with the ranged wave clear. Because once you stack it up and you rapid fire,
though. Like
but it just multiplies on it, right? Because then the explosive shot blows up on the minion, and then you have more AoE on top of it. Like the reason that we have to go back and forth on this is because it's just so weird.
Yeah, and also so bad this game. Because it's an absolutely the wrong timing and situation for it.
Something happened in scrims that we don't know about.
And it was something that they immediately took when it was left up. There wasn't hesitation on that. They took the Tristana this game. They wanted to make it work, and TL has found a way now into CLG's playbook. I said it before the other way, but Team Liquid has not had their confidence shaken whatsoever.
I think we could be seeing a dive at some point. Lourlo's got teleport as
calling it an Aphromoo!
Oh, perfect!
A little easier to save yourself when you're throwing heals out along with your damage, but not this time. Liquid is getting the picks just as CLG has been in the past games.
And Darshan can't do anything about it. He can't TP in here. There's Rift Herald onto Lourlo, so he has that increased damage, and he's buffing up the minions. He almost has this inhibitor turret.
Still standing toe-to-toe with Darshan in the top lane. Lourlo has been playing exceptional for Liquid coming into the end of the split. And you can see the turret going down in the bot lane. It looks like TL's playing a little bit like CLG. As soon as they get something, they're rotating across the front, and now CLG is getting spread thin. It's like their own medicine being handed right back to them.
10K gold lead at 21 minutes here for TL. It just looks dominant right now, but CLG, they want to have a fight.
Whoa! Lourlo feeling crazy. Looks like he turns on the go button. Dardoch's gonna be there. Flashes over the Glacial Fissure to the back line so they can't start to put damage in. You can see CLG's forced to flash in, try to get the engage. It may be working. Over the wall goes Stixxay. He hops out, says King Me. Can't get another kill though. And they're gonna be going hard on this one. Piglet shots onto Huhi. There goes the machine gun mage. He's down. Lamb's Respite is given a little bit of safety over to CLG, but it's not gonna be enough. They close the door. They finalize the fight, and Piglet goes forward for a triple kill as the team follows behind him. They take the inhibitor turret.
Team Liquid turning it on, still just 22 minutes in, but they are putting in a statement game in this series after going down 1-2. And they're going to send this one to a game 5 unless something drastic happens.
So the team fight was absolutely crazy, but I figured it out in the middle of it. It's second item Runeans for Stixxay. So it's Rage Blade, Fervor. It's basically Kog'Maw. You're basically a Kog'Maw that resets and jumps around. So that's what the build is supposed to be going for.
That's the intent. This fight in particular, you can tell Team Liquid was looking very aggressive.
Yeah, the flash in. Dardoch has done that so many times this game.
Gets a lot of damage down. Then it's still a little bit close. I like how FeniX sits on the side here and calls where Aphromoo is going to be, because I don't actually think he had vision of that wall. Based on the team fight. But Stixxay's able to jump over again. Lourlo up right over. Maybe he should have stayed closer on that side, though, before jumping, because he could have got a little bit of DPS out.
Did he actually pull Huhi with a flash in almost?
Yeah, Huhi jumped in.
Oh, he almost tricked Huhi then.
Yeah, tricked his own teammate at that point. And oh man, Piglet immediately calling, and
I want that sound pack.
Back and forth and back again in the series, though.
17-6. Jatt, I was just going to bring that up. I said before we went to the analyst desk last time is when you win that first game so handily and then you lose kind of without an idea in the next two, how do you repair that? How do you just come into the game number 4, which could be match point? And Team Liquid shook it off and they came in with their own game. They didn't have to worry about anything.
I think you'd have to point straight to the team's leaders right there. You have Loco Doco, a very experienced coach in best of 5s. You have Piglet, a former world champion. They know what it's like to drop games and come back, and I feel like that confidence can just transfer to the already confident team. What a beautiful part ultimate. These guys are going down.
Huge pressure moment. CLG has to react perfectly, being down so low, and they've already lost one. Aphromoo's going to be the next, but they're not even focused on that. They want to take the damage out of the fight, and the DPS is falling fast. Darshan's next. Aphromoo can base, but he won't be able to save it. About 40 seconds on these death timers. TL is running for CLG's base.
And Matt, once again on board with the catch. The TP flank from FeniX just comes up huge there, and all of TL have stepped up in this game, and they're trying to force a game 5.
Yeah, 2-1 and 15. Really high kill participation across the board for Team Liquid. Everyone really stepped up for this game, and this is our fastest game of the series to send us to our deciding game.
What a turnaround. 1 for TL, 2 for CLG, and TL will not go quietly into the night. We're going to a Game 5.
And what a day, Riv. Even if you look across to the European LCS, that goes to 5. Origin moved on. This time, Liquid fights back after losing 2 games in the middle of the series with a statement game, the fastest one of the set so far. And this will set us up for an awesome finish.
They got crushed last game. This game turned it around.
That's not something you usually see in a series.
Not expect that.
You don't go crush for crush. Usually it's crush, a very back and forth 40-minute to get back into it, but definitive matches on both sides has been amazing this series.
Yeah, Team Liquid made massive adjustments coming into this series. They dropped the Trist ban. They first picked Ekko, which had been
huge
an adaptation to the series. Also, every team kind of has that trump card. Like, what if we really need to win, what do we do? I think that's Bard. Like, I really do think that's Bard for Matt.
Big Matt plays.
He's always been his best champion. Yeah. He is one of the shot-calling leaders in-game, and we've heard the Team Liquid coaching staff talk before about some of his Bard games are just so good that you auto-win. A lot of other things happened in that game, but even if the other teammates didn't do that, it looked like Matt was on point enough in that Bard. Everything was landing perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah, and when you look at his Bard record, you're like, should he really be going after that champion here? Because his Janna has been so good in contrast. Yeah. But honestly, his Bard games have been fantastic. It's just that one fight near the end where they lose the skirmish, but because they had set it up so early, he got level 6 early, used his ultimate 2-3 times before Aphromoo was even 6 and able to make plays across the map. So Matt was very active in helping them get that lead. And then Lourlo neutralized Darshan this game with that Ekko.
I think it extremely helps in this case where they, instead of using somebody to dive in like the Kindred and start the fight, they can safely start it. The Tempered Fates are perfect. They assess it, and then they take the fight home every time. It seems to be really working out for them. Liquid have now taken the game to 5 series. So for more on this, we are going to go in and check with our analysts.